silang. Yeah. So I still need to. Wait. Good morning. Okay.
All good?
So you want to load something?
No, just to check if we have everything.
Okay. My PowerPoint is I will load it. But now I need.
So this is inspiring. You need this, right?
Yeah, I need this.
Okay. And this
Yes.
cosmic light trail as well. Yeah.
Yeah, my PowerPoint I still finish it. So yeah, later.
should start. Terrible days. The rain. Even the EPS sessions are empty. The big room, there's like 10 people.
What are you doing here? Get out.
Okay, we are good to start.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. The survivors from the rain from yesterday's talk. So glad to see that you're all here, eager to start this new day. It's been a great week, right? Good, good. So today we have another full schedule with many interesting talks. I will make a brief announcement about those of you who are participating in the dinner tonight. Please make sure you confirm and you pay the dinner at registration desk before noon, okay? Because we have to pay the buses and to make sure that we have enough buses to everyone. We had initially one bus. We are now at the number 4 that is already full, okay? So make sure you book your slot. So I know that we have a chair. I will let him introduce the talk, but I have to say a few words to Sophocles. Sophocles Sotirio is a person working with us for some years now. I met him in 2009. And this meeting is being full of privileges, and one of them is to introduce Sophocles to this talk and to have him here in Portugal with us. Sophocles has been opening many important doors to us, and I have to say that we are growing very fast due to his full support to our vision and to our mission. So it's my great pleasure to have him here. But now we also have Sarah, who is the chair for today, and I will let him do the honors of the house. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosa. Hello, good morning, good wet morning maybe. My name is Sævar, and I'll be the chair for this morning session. Our first speaker is Sophocles Sotirio, and he's going to talk about innovative approaches and tools in astronomy education, as you can probably read. And yeah, so Sophocles, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. I have to say that about 1.5 months ago, we were organizing the first Galileo Teacher Training Academy event in Athens, and we have planned a visit for the whole group to Acropolis, and we were fighting with the weather forecast if it's going to be rain or no, although it was in the middle of July in Greece. So it seems that rain is following us. Now it came here in Portugal, and we were not able to avoid it. Thank you for the introduction. For me, it's a great honor to be here with you. I'm following the Global Hands-on Universe activities and the Galileo teacher training programs for some years. We had the opportunity to organize the previous Global Hands-on Universe meeting in Volos, in Greece, in parallel with the 7th International Olympiad of Astronomy and Astrophysics, and it was a unique experience for me. So thank you, Rosa and colleagues, for the invitation to be here. My talk is focusing on how we can introduce scientific research to schools, to primary and secondary schools. Mainly, our efforts are focusing in Europe, but thanks to the wide network of Nucleo, we have the opportunity to expand these activities also beyond Europe. For us, this statement from Umberto Eco from this book. This book is presenting a series of lectures Umberto Eco gave some years ago. This book is called Turning Back the Clock and is focusing on the magical view of science, the view that we are presenting, or as his claim, to also in our textbooks. And this is a situation that has to change. And it's really a responsibility of researchers, the research community, to focus on on the design of effective outreach programs that will communicate in the best way scientific results and research issues to the public. So we are living in a period that there are numerous announcements in the press. I'm just bringing some information from the last 2 years, that because our effort is really to connect what is presented on the media with what we are doing in the classroom, and try to design scenarios and activities that are bringing these hot topics to everyday teaching of science. So Voyager, going beyond the limits of the solar system, about 2 years ago, there is very interesting information. I mean, numerous projects can be implemented only through presenting this device and the information that is carrying to the students. This is images from Cassini, and we can see all the other objects that are taking their place while Cassini is behind the planet and is making its photos. And of course, Earth is there trying to demonstrate to the students how small we are in the universe. We have, this was also an activity presented by and promoted by Global Hands-on Universe, the search of supernova. This was connected also with the Nobel Prize in 2011 that went to the scientists from Berkeley, and the Galileo and the Global Hands-on Universe team has already designed scenarios how these activities, how we can really bring Nobel Prize physics to classrooms. More recent efforts trying to find the origins of the universe, the farthest known galaxies, and so on. All these are from newspapers from different sites discussing more and more scientific issues that can be used as the starting point for introducing these activities in the classroom. And of course, the connection between astronomy, space, and high-energy physics that is working to the other end of cosmos, to microcosmos, is a great case for the students. So again, we are trying to connect our activities with CERN and the efforts that the researchers there are making in order to discover the secrets of the universe. And recently we are moving back to efforts in South Pole from a large consortium that is developing an ice neutrino telescope. They have announced great data, and this was published in Science in November 2013, measuring high-energy neutrinos that they have so big energies that they cannot be produced by the accelerators we have in Earth, so they have to be produced by cosmic accelerators. So this competition between high-energy physics and astronomy, in order to look more and more back in time and deeper to the universe is an amazing story that we are trying to present to our students. And of course, recently we had the opportunity to hear a great talk last night about the Rosetta effort that includes, again, numerous activities that can be implemented in school, from geology till mathematics. But, okay, this is what is happening, how research is being communicated and presented to the media. These are, as we said, very nice opportunities to introduce these activities in the classroom, but what is happening in the school? Some years ago, Science magazine published a special issue discussing this problem, saying that there is a major mismatch between the opportunities we have with the new media, with all this information that is made available, with the new tools, with all these ICT-based applications, and what is being taught in schools today. So the recommendation was to try to integrate more inquiry-based approaches in our teaching. And of course, this is not only because Science magazine is proposing to do so, but all the research data we have from international studies demonstrate that we are still failing to increase the interest of students in sciences, and especially to convince them to follow scientific careers. So our effort from different areas, from the European Physical Society, in the framework of European projects, from Galileo teacher training program, from the outreach programs of CERN, of ESA, is to bring Nobel Prize Physics to schools. And this is something that we are trying to do with in the framework of many European initiatives, and offer to students unique opportunities. For example, here, 500 students at the same time are following the technical manager of CMS detector 150 meters under the ground, under the surface in Geneva, at the center of this large particle detector, and she is using a mobile phone to tell them exactly how this detector operates. And this is, of course, connected with a very big interest about CERN following the discovery of Higgs and the announcement of Nobel Prize to the researchers there last December. So, of course, we don't want to be just a single event, just an activity that we are performing this great event for a school or for a number of schools. The new technologies are offering unique opportunities so we can connect a network of schools with that, but we would like to see it integrated in the program. So we are developing a series of activities that are combined with these online visits, with these virtual visits, either to telescopes, to observatories, or to CERN. So we are developing step by step a series of tools that can turn this activity really to a school-based project. So it can include the virtual visit, it can include a talk from a scientist, but also we are developing tools like Salsa J, maybe better than this, but there is also Hypatia that is getting real data from CERN detectors and offer the opportunity to students to perform the search of Higgs as the researchers are doing, using always the basic natural laws. This is the idea, the themes that are being taught in school. So our effort is to create a continuous interaction scheme between the school and the research center to offer a series of this kind of activities in order to really be integrated in the school. And we are offering this, and this is a very important support that we have from the European Commission. We can offer this to every school, to every single school, in a rural place or in the city. But especially to students who don't have the opportunity to visit a real observatory, or they don't have the opportunity to visit CERN. And of course, we are developing additional materials, because teachers are very important for us, so we would like to support them and introduce these activities to them. So we are developing MOOCs and similar training courses in order to help them integrate these activities in the classroom. This is a plan. We have a meeting in 2 weeks at CERN with a team from US, from IceCube, in order to continue this activity and make it possible for schools from Europe and US to be connected with CERN and IceCube South Pole at the same time, and discuss with the researchers the efforts in particle physics and in astronomy to discover the efforts to discover the secrets of the universe. And also we are trying, as we said, we are trying to design applications for all students, for students who are able to visit an observatory, but students who had never the experience to use a telescope. So we are creating virtual environments where they have the opportunity to go to a telescope and have access to a database of real images from the sky, and get, of course, it's not the experience that you have when you are looking to a telescope, but it's something that we can simulate up to a level. But let's say my main reason here, and really the main issue that we have this cooperation with Global Hands-on Universe and Galileo Teacher Training Program, is to support the role of the teachers. For us, this is the key point of the success. So we believe that we are not able to train all teachers in a seminar-like activities, workshops, events. So we have to create strong communities. We have to create strong networks where teachers are learning one from each other. They are sharing experiences, they are sharing best practices, and they are trying to implement that in their settings. And again, I will go back. This is a recent publication from Science magazine in 2012, is discussing really exactly this issue, especially for United States. And it's saying that there are numerous investments in trying to implement innovative methods like inquiry-based, to introduce problem-solving activities in the classes. But all of them are failing if the teachers are not ready, they are not convinced to adopt them. And here is really saying that we have to look to specific cases where this is really working. We have to find ways to motivate teachers in order to adapt these methodologies, to convince them that it's going to improve their teaching and, of course, the educational results. So, TALIS, this is a study on teaching and learning published in 2004. It includes data from a large survey with teachers and school leaders performed by OECD in 2013. So still, you can see, this is the different professional development methods used in different countries, as it is reported from teachers and school leaders. You see that courses and workshops have about 70% of the share. But for first time, this was not there in the previous Tally study 3 years ago. The participation in a network of teachers formed specifically for professional development teachers is increasing to 35%. And according to my view, this is very good news for you, Rosa, Carl, and all the people who are working so hard all these years to build effective teacher networks that are going to act as a training, to introduce this training process. In our series of projects that we are running together with the colleagues here, we are really putting special emphasis on building a network of teachers that will form a community of practice. And I will explain and I will present at the end of my presentation what, according to our understanding, a community of practice means. How we can really turn this network to a source of user-generated content, a source of unique scenarios that can take all these ideas that are coming from scientific research and introduce it in the classroom, because the teachers are the key players in that. They know their needs, they know how to handle every classroom. So there are different levels that we have to follow in order to introduce teachers in this process. First, we have to give them a purpose to believe in. We have to design some success stories that we are going to present them, other teachers are going to present them in order to convince others to follow. We have, of course, to develop systems that are offering something to them. Participation to summer schools, to conference, to these activities are offering a great motivation for the teachers. And we are trying to do our best by providing, let's say, nice opportunities during the school year, but also especially during the summer period when there is a break, in order to participate in this kind of events. I think Sally Reynolds from Inspiring Science Education will talk for such an opportunity this afternoon, a European scale activity to promote STEM activities. And then, when they are convinced, we have to be there ready to provide the necessary professional development for them, to have the mechanism in order to offer them these opportunities to change. And finally, we really believe that this process, in order to continue and be sustained, we have to create a community of leaders among them, change leaders, teachers who are really motivated, they are convinced of the process, and they are going to be the driving force after the end of this intervention. And this is how we are working. So we are trying to support the development of assets and tools we are offering to teachers, to offer them opportunities to connect them with external experts, with other teachers, and increase, let's say, their learning experiences that will impact their professional development at the end. So this is a long-lasting effort supported by different activities. One very big one is the Open Discovery Space, a large-scale school innovation initiative supported by the European Commission that for the moment includes 1,800 schools and 5,000 teachers who are registered in this process. And this is, let's say, in the framework of the major initiative started in September 2013 from the European Commission, Opening Up Education, that is focusing on innovative teachers, who will be able to develop their digital competencies to connect through a strong community of practice. So this is documentation. It's not our documentation. This is coming from the European Commission, and this is the guidelines they are offering, and they are presenting initiatives supported by the European Commission, like Scientix and Open Discovery Space. So these projects are offering us great data. We have data now from thousands of teachers, and we are able to compare different training approaches. So in the framework, here we are presenting, these are these are data from about 5,000 teachers who have participated in these training events. We are organizing training events and activities in science centers and museums. This is the red bar. In research centers like CERN, ESA, or other research institutions, this is the blue. And also in the framework of activities that are performed in the normal professional development programs of the teacher, which is the green bar. So you see that step by step, both science centers and museums and research centers are getting their role in the process of teachers' training. And this is becoming more interesting when we are measuring the impact on the students. The impact of the students is really approaching the values that we get from the official training, I would say program. So there is a great potential, according to our view, based on this data, that we have really to find ways to organize all these resources in the best way and support in a uniform way these activities to the teachers, both the ones that are taking in the framework of the official training programs, but also the activities that are performed in the framework of outreach programs of research centers or activities of the museums and science centers. If we are able to combine these approaches and build bridges between these different cases, then according to our view, we will have great results. This is another effort from another perspective. Here we are trying to make profiles of the classroom, the time spent on different tasks. So you will see lesson type A, the first bar refers to a conventional lesson. You will see that about 30%, these are for science teaching at the age of 15 years old. So you will see that about 35% of the time in the classroom is spent on lecturing. It's teacher's monologue. While inquiry is less than 10%. This is something that we would like to modify with our approach. So after a process, the orange column presents activities that are being implemented while we are preparing students, guiding them through the process with ready-made scenarios, either from other teachers or from us. And lessons type C are activities that have been developed by the teachers themselves. So the lecturing time is decreasing and the floor is given to the students as the inquiry-based approach expects. So we need to develop a federation of tools to organize and offer them all these tools in a common framework try to support teachers to implement these activities, and of course to create a community where they can share their outcomes. So this is the effort we are making in developing and bringing together different science education repositories. We are organizing them under a common framework, and we are offering teachers authoring tools in order to do that. So we would like to bring all these efforts together under a common framework, organized according to a science curriculum in order to develop effective search mechanisms and help teachers to find these resources. So we are connecting these resources, both the tools but also the scenarios, with the science curriculum. Here the science curriculum is really helping because it's quite common in different countries. So we have this opportunity to make the connections, make user-generated content available, always develop according to commonly used educational approaches like inquiry-based, project-based, learning cycle, and so on. So this is part, while they are developing the scenarios, they are getting training on how to implement these different approaches. These materials are organized in meaningful activities in their settings according to the needs, tested in real environments, providing access to real data, offer them access to advanced research infrastructures, telescopes, detectors, and so on, and of course, access to high-quality content. So we are offering them advanced authoring facilities to help them to integrate all these resources, to find them easily and put them in the framework of a lesson plan. We are trying also to connect these resources with the teachers' profiles. So an experienced teacher is looking for more advanced materials, more complex projects, more complex activities, while a teacher who is just starting his effort, he is going to find more easy to use scenarios. So this is a major effort we are making to combine this. And this is the closing one. We would like to see the whole chain, the authoring process, offering access to all these resources and materials, offering at the teachers at the same time a delivery environment for the students where we are integrating the assessment tools. So we are demonstrating to teachers how they can assess the educational outcomes. So the whole chain includes authoring tools for learning, for designing scenarios, the delivery environment, and also collection of data. At this level, we are trying to demonstrate how the inquiry approach is supporting the development of problem-solving competence measured by PISA framework. So the inquiry cycle is supported during the authoring process through a plug-and-play process. Teachers can include resources and tools in order to have their lesson. There is a large repository in the framework of, this is being developed in the framework of Inspiring Science Education Project, a large repository of online tools and materials. This is the delivery environment that is presented to the students, and students have the opportunity to perform the activities. And at the end, we are able to make the profile of the classroom. Now, this has to do with the development of the problem-solving competence of the students. So the first one demonstrates the 4 levels that PISA is presenting. The lower one is level, as it says, less than 1, is students who are not able to solve problems. The second one, level 1, are initial problem solvers. The number 2 is capable problem solvers, and the third one, what we would like to achieve, is the reflective problem solvers. So you see the evolution of a classroom over the time during the implementation, how the profile the ratio between the different students' capabilities is changing, and we are coming step by step to a more advanced case where about 50% of the classroom includes reflective problem solvers after a long time of intervention. So this is all framed in a school-based innovation model, how we are starting with the leaders, moving to the teachers who are building communities, and then providing input with data to policymakers in order to affect educational reform. So these are some images of possible futures. Of course, it's not the only way, but according to our view, it's a way to introduce innovation in science classrooms in Europe and beyond. And our first results demonstrate the effectiveness of this approach. It's a long-term effort with numerous, let's say, with a lot of human resources and passion, I would say, involved. But the results demonstrate that it deserves really this big effort. So thank you very much.
Thank you,
Sorry, I
Mr.
was
It's okay.
a few minutes more. Sorry for this.
It's okay, I think. All right, we have hardly any time for questions, but since the weather is so nice, let's make a couple. Do you have any questions?
Did you want one?
In the United States, I think we're going to make a lot more progress in showing students gain because, as I mentioned, we have common core standards that apply to the whole United States. Do we have a common core set, or do we have a set of European science or math standards that we can help, teach to and shift our curriculum? So I think that'll make showing gain 10 times, 100 times easier.
We are not at this level. There is not a common standard in Europe, and there are different cases really implemented in every country. There are also countries like Germany that they don't have a common approach in the country also. They have different approaches in the different cases.
I would think that
But,
makes PISA very hard then, if you don't have common standards.
Again, there are different, let's say, reactions, I would say, to PISA results. There are countries like Greece, for example, who are saying that this system has been developed for Northern European countries, so
Finland.
is not applicable to us. There are countries like Finland that they are building on the outcomes of PISA, and they are trying to demonstrate what is the differences between the Finnish education system and in the other countries. So they are publishing whole research books describing all this data. There are countries like Israel who are changing completely their educational approach and system in order to meet PISA standards. To be honest, I think that there was a major effort started in 2007. In the period 2007 to 2010, we have seen in many countries implementation, European countries implementation of these initiatives. But especially in the European South, this was seriously affected by the crisis. And in some cases, this was also had impact in other countries like United Kingdom, for example, who had to stop innovative, let's say, approaches in STEM education due to budget cuts.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And so So the next speaker, yeah, well, let's maybe. So Mr. Sousa. Or I presume it's a Mr. Sousa. It's okay. It's definitely Mr. Sousa. So, you have everything ready?
No.
No? Okay. All right.
Um dos PowerPoints.
Tanto faz.
A estrada não tem faz.
Ah, mas é que não tem 8 no meio, contra tem 21.
Pode 21.
Vai me dar mais favor.
São versões diferentes. Olha, é 13. Eu fui-me sentar ali e olhei com as pessoas todas são precisas. Well, hello. It's great to be here with you. I sat in the place where I had no friends. Well, at least a smaller group of people that I already know. It's great to see familiar faces here, and I want to thank Rosa for this invitation. And I want to thank the opportunity of being here in representation of my new job. So this is going to be my first public speaking in this, working for this boss. Okay, so this is the title of the presentation. It actually reflects the things that we have been doing in this organization called ERTE, which is part of the structure of the Ministry of Education in Portugal. Actually, I want to also thank Sophocles for his presentation, because lots of the things that he said, actually, we share with him, but of course we work with different constraints and in a different environment, sometimes difficult, sometimes easier, I'm sure. And but on the whole, initiatives like Sophocles presented are the ones to whom we partner with. For instance, we partner with Rosa and with Nucleo in some of our initiatives. So here we are. Well, the agenda for this presentation is going to be a straightforward one. So I'm going to present who we are, the structure of the ministry, which is working, for which I'm working too, and what we do, the type of activities, the significant ones which are related with the scope of this panel. And I'm going to present two very important projects in which we are involved, the SeguraNet and the eTwinning project. And later on, I will explain why I chose these projects. And then I'm going to end with the presentation of a brand new, unfinished, actually, initiative. It's going to be, well, at least the design is going to be finished only on Friday. But I'm going to reveal a couple of strong points that are going. And this initiative is going to be on the terrain. Well, it's going to be on the move next week. So I'll share with you some addresses so that you can receive first-hand information. Well, so you know these big ministries. The Ministry of Education in Portugal is no different from any other, at least European or Western world ministry. So it's a huge machine, because it has to regulate all the aspects of a very complex subsystem, which is the system of education of any developed country. Of course, being Portugal being a country with a very strong centralization philosophy, probably our ministry is even more complex than other organizational structures. Well, in the university, in the ministry, We have several general directorates, and we belong to the General Directorate of Education. This directorate has several bodies, and we are just a tiny one, and we are a multidisciplinary team of resources and educational technologies. On the whole, we are a little bit more than 20 people working all around the country and integrated in different structures. And I'm lucky to be working with such a motivated team and coordinating them. What do we do? Well, you have on bold the official mission, and you have a small description of what that really means. So when you consider the all dimensions of education, I believe that the General Directorate has a lot of the good force of education. So we have the exams, that is debatable, but of course the possibility of working together with the colleagues who are actually evaluating and assessing and regulating the system gives us a wonderful opportunity to actually promote and changes which are well funded from the point of view of the data on which they are based. We work together with another team which is responsible for the curricula, and there's lots of other teams working with all the dimensions of supporting the didactics in the educational system. The normal schools, the technical schools, the schools that work in socially or economically deprived areas, children with special needs, and so on. My team actually is devoted to the curricular integration of ICT. So this doesn't mean that we are technological centered. That's why this is a multidisciplinary team. And actually, out of the 20 so people working in this team, I think we only have 3 guys from ICT. Well, perhaps 4, because we will outsource we have a guy who actually runs all the servers that are inside our organization. So all the other persons who work are either teachers in the K-12 schools or researchers in universities and polytechnics, and so all of them are actually involved in education and work from different places in the country. What do we do? Actually, we do a lot. I've just listed the most visible work. I've been since the last days of August, I've been working 12 hours a day, trying to catch up with all the things that have been done there for the past 10 years. And I haven't yet grasped more than just a little bit of it all. And but we have 2 chunks. These are probably the most important of them. And we have the upper chunk and the lower chunk. The upper chunk are European projects, international projects. The lower chunk is constituted by national projects. So we have SeguraNet. That's devoted to safety in the internet. That's the lamp. How do you say for all, Vitor? Lighthouse. Thank you very much, Teresa. So there's the Lighthouse. That's SeguraNet. Living Schools Lab. That's another project. eTwinning. We're going to speak about it. Ingenious is a problem. It's a project which has just finished, and we are starting with Ingenious 2. iTech, the same thing. Creative Classroom Lab is still going on up to the end of this year. The majority of these projects are actually run by an institution called European Schoolnet that you probably are aware of. European Schoolnet is an enterprise station based in Brussels, and it's constituted by, it has, the partners are the ministries of education of lots of European countries. So on the whole, what it does is to pilot new methodologies, new technologies, but always the methodology running with the technology. And out of those pilots, they get a lot of data, and they elaborate reports which are given to the political decisors, so that actually both on the European central level, the European Commission, for instance, and at each country level, the political decisors have access to state-of-the-art information about the effectiveness or not of the said methodologies or technologies. For instance, in Creative Classroom Lab, we are piloting the use of tablets, the widespread use of tablets in a one-to-one scenario in a classroom. And we are using several methodologies, and it has just finished the first year and is now entering the second year with a change of scenarios. Now we are working on using empowering methodologies for the learners. On the chunk, the lower chunk, there are several national initiatives. Tell us a story. Actually, it's a storytelling project using digital format for young learners. There are some collections of pointers for important resources, the TVs and radio, school radio and TV directory, which that's the lower, well, not lower, but the second lowest to your left. A repository. We actually work together with the repository that was set up by the Ministry of Education several years ago, called Portal das Escolas, which aimed at collecting lots of resources created by teachers, and it had up to the present day, it has been having this a little bit difficult struggle with reality. The school newspapers project and directorate actually is a place where you can actually visit the large majority of school newspapers. And we were the first, Portugal was the first country with its Ministry of Education in iTunes U. Of course, that's not, being the first one is not that important, but actually the resources that are available there are what makes it important. And we have lots of resources for teacher training there, and we aim at updating those resources. There's a geography network, and there's this Scratch, which is actually interesting because it's a programming language, and we are on the verge of having this Code Week in Europe on the next month, and because actually coding develops lots of competencies which are very important which we believe will be very important for the future professionals. So the European Commission is actually putting a lot of pressure under the adoption of coding, the entering of coding in the curricula, and with some success because several European countries have already done so, and eventually Portugal will follow. Well, this is the panorama, but we actually are going to focus on the ones that are important for you astronomers or you science teachers, or we science teachers. I'm a physics teacher, actually. So First of all, I'm going to start with the more general one. This is a project which actually is related to all the projects that it's included in all the projects that we participate in. It is SeguraNet, it's the promotion of internet safe use of internet for everybody. Of course, we focus more on teachers and students and parents, but actually some of the actions are directed to all the public. Why did I bring SeguraNet here? Because being working in a team which promotes the use of ICT for teaching other subjects, we will end up in the internet for sure. So while teaching English language or physics or whatever, or history or geography, if we are having the participants of a project using the internet, it's very important that the students, for instance, and the teachers as well, or the parents, are aware of all the, I wouldn't say dangers, but threats, all the threats that actually exist online. So it is very important to work that we do with these targets. The other reason that I mentioned it's because it is our largest project. We have quite impressive numbers, and that stand on the hundreds of thousands of people involved, students, teachers, and so on. So some years ago, actually not some years ago, but last year we got this. So actually, so we have to enforce this into use, and we do it by resources, by activities, and by challenges. And so I'm going to list just a little bit of the resources quite fast. We have these games, we have these gadgets. To most of them, some of them are material ones, others are digital ones to be downloaded. This one is aimed at very young students, and actually it was developed by the team, which included youth panel. So we have these 40 young participants. They change every year, and they are representative of the panorama of Portugal according to the socio-economic picture. And we have 3 meetings every year, and we have running activities such as fora and debates running on the Moodle course, and all the materials are designed and tested, including this youth panel, this young audience. This quiz for you actually is an example of that. One of the most successful is the comic strips. We have a production of comic strips regularly. Every month are produced, and up to now we have 44 comic strips. And they, of course, you cannot understand the ones who cannot read Portuguese cannot understand the meaning of that, but actually it's about a young kid who has been given a task by the teacher, and the colleagues are telling where to find the solution for that task in the internet, and at the end it just delivers to the teacher just a blank page with a URL. Saying to the teacher that she can find the answer to the problem in that URL. That wasn't actually done by him. This is actually a problem in Portuguese schools. The fact that the students access the information. Most of the students tend to access the information in an uncritical manner. So it is very important to work with questions related with copyright and with integration of information and the critical analysis of it. We have posters, we have games, digital games, some of them. We are on the verge of launching one application with several games together in partnership with a company. And we have tangibles. For instance, I'm not sure what is the name, but I'm sure that in every culture present in this room, young kids play this game. They just fold this sheet of paper and they ask to one another, give me a random number, and they actually just make like this, and at the end, when at the end of the counting, they just unfold and they read what's behind that piece of paper, printed on that piece of paper. This is one of those games, and actually it has information related with a possible threat and a solution for that threat. There are some publications, of course, as well. This is a game that they can play online. Funny enough, the most visited resources are the games. Perhaps it's not that surprise. There's not such a big surprise. And we run every year a challenge. The challenge involves teams of students organized by their teachers, and on the whole, we always have tens of thousands of participants. And managing this is actually a huge job for the colleagues who work there. We managed to succeed in getting the participation of Madeira and the Azores, which are actually, from the point of view of several dimensions of government, they are independent, and actually in the education they have autonomy, so they could not join. They could have chosen not to join, but we managed to have them with us. On the whole, there's of course the use of we have blogs, we have web pages, we have Facebook and Twitter profiles, and so there's a cocktail of solutions in order to get to the teachers and to support the tens of thousands of teachers who are actually working in the field with the students. And this design of means of support of this group of participants, you can actually find it in all our projects. The design is more or less the same in all the projects. These are other activities. The first one is interesting because even though being in the army is not mandatory anymore, but all the young people, I think that is on the year where they turn 18, they have to go to an army barrack, and they have to participate during a whole day. They have to participate in a series of activities in a way to inform them about the role of the defense. It's not just the army, but the Navy and the Air Force as well. And actually, starting last year and continuing this year, all these 130,000 young male and female Portuguese have accessed this information. So there were workshops run by the guys by the military, and guess who coached the military? It was us. It was a pyramid scheme of support. And this last project, e-safety level, is quite interesting because if it's aimed at schools, and schools who participate in this project can get a badge if they actually have their all the networks and all the regulation of the use of digital media inside school abides by a certain number of characteristics. the school can receive this badge. But the important is not actually having the badge, is all the process, because it is almost impossible for a school who apply to actually receive the badge straightforwardly. So they actually have to run through a process of reflection and changing, and in order to abide by those rules, and it's quite an interesting European Union supported project as well. This is what we do a lot in teachers. Being teachers, we are used to teach, so we always tend to solve problems by creating a course or a class or something like that. So we have a whole cocktail as well of training solutions, both as training other trainers, or training and training them in presential and in non-presential ways, because it is virtually impossible. It was virtually impossible to tutor 2,000 military, so we had to use other means. So, for instance, this the MOOC wasn't used by them in that case, but the MOOC addressed teachers actually and educators. But to train the military, we actually employed Moodle and a subset of experts that are distributed, but they belong to our team and they are distributed all over the country. I'm going to talk about them a little while here. This is where I'm going to talk about them. We are we have, in the case of Seguranet, this organization of human resources and competencies is actually mirrored in all the other projects. There's this central team, and we have, it is based in Lisbon, by the river, and but Portugal is not only Lisbon, so we have regional institutions who work with us. Those are centers of competency, and these centers of competence are, the majority of them are universities and polytechnics, not all of them, but a big number of them are universities and polytechnics, which is actually, it was designed that way, because this way we can integrate the knowledge of the academia. And actually the academia has access to lots of test beds and lots of fields of research in educational research. These 9 competency centers receive some resources, money, and also receive, the most important of that, they receive 1 teacher, which is working full-time there. And that teacher usually is the human resource which is used to support locally the projects, and this one as well. And of course, we count a lot with the resources of the school, and Seguranet is not different from that. Well, this is not really important, but this one is. This is another project that we participate in, and we run it in Portugal. This is the European project as far as schools are concerned. If you can grasp the numbers, we are speaking about 124,974 schools and 34,032 projects, and about, well, over 250,000 of teachers, which are actually participating in this project through a platform. To the right, you have the Portuguese numbers. Usually, we don't feel ashamed of the Portuguese numbers as far as education and ICT is concerned. As far as ICT is concerned. And this is actually, it happens just the same. The Portuguese schools are quite active in e-twinning projects. These numbers are almost up to date. They have 2 days. And what is e-twinning? E-twinning is a community, and it actually is growing really fast. It's a community for teachers, but actually through teachers, students can also access this community. What does it offer? It offers a set it offers a virtual place. It offers a set of tools that can be used by teachers to develop projects and through all the phases, okay? Finding a theme, finding a partner, setting up the project, and actually running the project, closing the project, and gathering and disseminating data. Around this portal and around this community, we actually involve lots of training. So we invest a lot, we as members of eTwinning, so, but the European Union invests a lot of money, invests a lot of working hours in training these teachers. Lots of this training is done at national level, but some of it is centralized. And it can take the form of informal and formal training, as following more or less the models that Sophocles presented. But unfortunately, it misses the following that Sophocles has presented. And this was the history of eTwinning. Actually, it follows the funding, the programs of funding, so it's not important. The only thing important is that now we are developing eTwinning with the funding from Erasmus Plus, so we can be almost sure that if the world doesn't come to an end, and we should ask the astronomer for an answer for that, then we'll have funding up to 2020. That's quite a nice horizon to look forward to. Now you cannot see who participates, unfortunately. Perhaps José, we should have chosen the other smaller version of the PowerPoint. Actually, it's the European countries plus a lot of other countries: Moldova, Georgia, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Ukraine, Tunisia, and I cannot read the other ones. So actually, you can find lots of countries who can participate, and there are also ways of having, for instance, schools from America, schools from Africa. There are ways to bypass this constraint. In Portugal, we follow the same model that I presented for eTwinning. So there's a small centralized team. But actually, we have these. It's the first time that they appear. We have another category of human resources. They are called the ambassadors. The ambassadors, actually, they are all female. They are all female colleagues of us. And there's 5 ambassadors for this initiative and another 5 for the other one. And they are assigned. They come from one of these divisions, and these are the divisions of the educational system in Portugal. So we have one for the Algarve, where it is supposed to be nice weather, one for the coming from south to north, one from the Algarve, one for the Algarve, one for the Alentejo, one from the area of Lisbon, then one for the center and one for the north. They are recruited because they are excellent and motivated participants in eTwinning projects. So they are recruited from the bottom up. So, and they are actually a driving force both for the schools and for the centralized team. And tomorrow we are going to host a meeting, the first meeting of this year with them. And we are going to planify the work, and I'm sure that they will, we have lots of things prepared, but they will bring even more proposals to work. And of course, we count on teachers, and we are counting on 20,000 teachers. And we are working with them, and they are doing an excellent job in creating their projects and developing their projects in partnerships with other European countries. This is the portal. And this portal, we are presenting some of the functionalities. You can, in this portal, you have all the characteristics that you need to find partners, find the team, create the project, develop it, and assess it, and actually publicize the results. So the portal is divided into these 3 layers. There's a public that you can access through the www.etwinning.net, and if you register there, then you can have your own personal area, and that personal area is connected with virtual working areas for each different virtual working areas called twin space for each project. So actually, why is it a twin space? It is a twin space because it is shared with your partners in that project. So this actually offers every European teacher with an infrastructure to develop the digital part of its project. And it actually offers the European teacher the possibility to find partners, and it offers the European teacher training in developing projects, designing and developing projects, and supporting the dissemination of the results. So, but the most important of that is a 250,000 users which come bundled with this portal. That's why I said it was the European project in education. There's also a recognition. There's a system of awards called the quality labels. Portugal has quite a few. Well, we have the national ones, but even at the European level, we have quite a few. There's this. You need to have national labels in order to apply for European labels. Well, doesn't matter. What matters is actually you get a peer recognition for your work. And it's not for the statue that you get. It's actually for the peer recognition. And the peer recognition is the driving force of professionals and in education as well. As you probably would have guessed, so there's one before the two. Well, as you probably would have guessed, there are astronomy projects in eTwinning. There are lots of them. For instance, this one, How is Your Sky, is a project which was developed by a set of 5 schools, 4 schools from France and the Czech Republic. And you get a glimpse of the one of them. This is the homepage of them.
Sorry, Mr. Sousa, we really have to...
Okay, so it's just, yeah. Don't worry about the 38, okay? There's a very interesting Portuguese award, which came from primary school, which involved the art and astronomy, the representation of the mythology behind the constellations. And you get also, you can see there's this gallery of drawings and a video with it, and it was run by a colleague in the north of Portugal. On the whole, what we get from eTwinning is that eTwinning combines a set of solutions that we believe that can address the needs for teachers and can inspire teachers to become innovators and can induce them to use innovative methodologies and keeping them away from that bar that we saw in Sophocles' graphs of 80% or 60% of us using too much presentation. Now, as far as STEM is concerned, we've just finished Ingenious, and this, which was a European project, and iTech. And at the end of European projects, we have to continue developing the results. And so we designed actually the guy before me and the team designed follow-ups, which included the assignment of 5 extra ambassadors. Probably those who are outside south of Europe are not aware of how difficult it is to induce to convince political leaders to assign more resources in fields, in public fields such as education. But actually, they managed to do that. And we have these 5 persons which are going to have a meeting with us next Friday. And we are going to design with them a STEM initiative. Actually, it's not only a STEM initiative. It has a more broader meaning. So we actually call it labs. So we are going to launch a labs initiative next week, probably, with the same design, having a centralized resources, having decentralized teams of support, and trying to support teachers in using the methodologies, the innovative methodologies and technologies that we developed both with the projects iTech and Ingenious. And we have the resources to support them, and we have the community, because we are going to ground this on the iTech community. So, keep plugged in and watch for RT address. It's here, okay? And wait for the good news that hopefully will be quite interesting. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. So, hello, thank you. Sorry, we don't have any time for questions, but you can ask him later on. So, regarding the coffee break?
We'll have to wait a little bit for the coffee break. I asked them to hold the coffee for us, so they are hiding it from the Europlanet team.
We're going to change a bit because we started pretty late, bad weather of course. The coffee break is going to be 15 minutes instead of half an hour, and lunch will start 15 minutes later. Then we are on time. Yeah.
Okay. So, our next speaker is Silung from the International Astronomical Union. He's talking about the International Year of Light. So, Silung, the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks. Okay, sorry. I know it's already half an hour overrun. Okay, I will try to keep my talk short. Okay. Okay, so wait. Okay. Yes. Okay. Oops. So everyone know that next year is the International Year of Light. So I would like to take this opportunity to come to this great meeting and meet all of you that potentially you are the one who organized the activities for the International Year of Light, for cosmic light, for whatever activities, for the world, for your country. And so I would like to give you some ideas what is International Year of Light in terms of astronomy activities and how IU is going to support it and how we are going to organize and all the activities and all the strategies we are going to run this activity. So I'm the IU International Outreach Coordinator, Silung. Okay, so I'm in this office. I'm coming from this office, IU Office for Astronomy Outreach, which is based in Tokyo, Japan, NAOJ. So if you have chance to come visit Tokyo, and please tell me, and I will be happy to meet you. And if you want, I can offer you some free accommodation in my campus. Okay, okay, to have some meeting. Okay, okay. So my office is funded by a number of institutes. Basically, they're from Asia. If your institute are happy to fund us, I'm really happy to talk to you. Okay, and put your logo here. Okay, so if you look at this logo, okay, it's so familiar, right? It's basically come from this logo, okay? So the International Year of Astronomy was a huge success. So 5 years ago, so all the countries and many people, okay, work together and to create a common dream. I can call it a dream. So where everyone is working together to make something very successful. So during that time, we have almost 148 countries working together. So you see this map here, those countries colored in red, they are those countries that have representative and working for the International Year of Astronomy at that time. So if you compare this map, the number with the number of IU members, you will see this number is far more than the IU members. That means the impact of IYA was huge, that is much bigger than the astronomers can do normally. So after IYA, so people will recognize the impact and how useful this kind of educational activity is. And that's why IU do have some change after the International Year of Astronomy. So from some reports during that time, so we have almost reached almost 1,000 million people. So it's only half of the reports we received. So we expect the number we reach, it's much more than that. So I just give you some review, some overview of the ideas. I think all of you are involved in part of this program. So they're quite great events everywhere. Okay, and probably you're one of those organizers for this. Okay, so I'm coming to the International Year of Light. So this year, the next year, we are having another opportunity to promote astronomy again to reach the audience that we want to reach. So last year, during the General Assembly of the United Nations, they adopted the International Year of Light. So the basic framework is quite similar to the model that we used during the International Year of Astronomy. So during the resolution, if you look at the statements carefully, so light is basically, it's a kind of things that relate to a lot of issues. So light is related to communication, related to energy, related to information, related to fiber optics, agriculture, mining, astronomy, architecture, archaeology, blah, blah, blah. So astronomy is definitely one of the main focus for light because we observe electromagnetic wave, we observe light, and this is astronomy. So astronomy is so important, so it's play an important role. And if you read the following sentence here, so light, the role of lighting, okay, light is everywhere. So this is light, this is light. So in terms of the lighting, in proper lighting, so if you have a good lighting, and you can, of course, you can achieve greater energy efficiency, and at the same time, you will protect the dark sky. So this is the statement here. So this is another reason why the International Astronomical Union would like to involve and drive this International Year of Light activities. Okay, so the IYL, the International Year of Light, is a bit different from the structure of IYA. So IYA is basically, it's very clear, it's about astronomy, so International Astronomical Union at that time take the lead, okay? And IYL, the light is basically, as I told you, is everywhere. So if you look at the map here, so there are many organizations that are involved in the International Year of Light. And the major leaders, okay, is the European Physical Society, EPS, and also the SPIE, which is the international organization for lighting. Okay. And also CRE as well. So EPS, CRE, and SPIE, they're the main organizers. But there are also many organizations that are supporting, including IAU, of course. So why it's 2015? Yeah, probably you will ask this question. So 2015, there are quite a number of anniversaries. So one of the most remarkable one will be the 100th anniversary of Einstein's theory of general relativity. So next year is 100th anniversary. So you may say, okay, it's more about gravitation, but it bends the same time, and the light will get curved and all those stuff. Okay, you can think of in that way. And also, next year is the 50th anniversary of the discovery of the cosmic microwave background, which is one of the biggest evidence for the Big Bang theory. So that's why it's also related to cosmology and it's related to astronomy. So about light, there are quite a number of areas. And for the International Year of Light, so there are 4 major focus for this. So they will talk about the science of light, technology of light, light and nature, and also light and culture. So these this area are the focus. So if you go to the IYL website, which is online now, so you can go to the website and check. So you can see there are many different information. There are many different boxes here. So one of them we call cosmic light here. So if you go and check, so they have many different items. So they categorize each ideas in different things, okay? So different categories, and if you see one boxes here, it's called cosmic light, which is what I'm going to talk about. But if you're really careful, if you pay attention carefully, there's still quite a number of things that are more beyond, it's also about astronomy. For example, if you look here, light for development, the astronomy for development here, it's the astronomy is about how astronomy could make an impact for development, which is basically is about the IAU office for IAU office of development for IAU office of astronomy for development, which is the OAD based in Cape Town, okay, in South Africa. So they're doing a lot of things, driving using astronomy to make a better world, okay. And if you look at here, there's a kit. So there's something about the kit. Okay, there's some teaching materials, the kits. No, not here. Okay. Yeah, where is it? Okay, anyway, yeah, in a website. So there are some kits, so there are available some resources that you can use, and there are some different kits and something you can find it out there. Okay, so in March, we have a meeting with the chairman of the IYL Steering Committee, okay? And we agree that because the International Year of Light is so huge and there's so many areas, so they agree that IAU will take the lead. So we will be the dedicated organization to organize all the activities related to astronomy, okay? Under the framework of what is called cosmic light here. So this is why we have this logo, okay? So this is a project, this is a special project of IYL, which is called Cosmic Light. Okay, so I just want to take some time to talk about something about the logo. So what's the meaning here? So if you look at the IYL logo, so this one, the central one, the orange, is the sun. So this is the sun. So the sun and the flags, which mean different nations, and at the same time, the color means different spectrum. Okay, and if you look at the word here, cosmic light, if you look carefully, this is the electromagnetic spectrum, but if you look carefully, these two parts are actually dark, and they are meaning the invisible part of the spectrum. Okay, so we are talking about multi-wavelength, so we have infrared, we have ultraviolet, which is dark, you cannot see that, right? So the logo here, there's some meaning here, actually. Okay, so cosmic light. Okay, we're talking about cosmic light and actually how astronomy is related to light. So there are quite a number of science behind. So there are many science of light. So of course we need to address this science to people. Okay, so what is the science of light? It's photon. Okay, it's electromagnetic wave, and electromagnetic wave especially is closely related to multi-wavelength that now the astronomers are doing multi-wavelength observations. Okay, telescope, the optics of telescope is related to, of course, related to light. And of course, I told you, light pollution is another major issue that we want to address during this year because we want to preserve the dark sky. So you save the energy efficiency, and then you will have the dark sky. Okay, so that's many message that we want to talk about. Okay, probably you don't need, I don't need to explain to you why we need an international year. But I just want to give you some really who was first time to run international years events. So I just want to tell you why we would like to have something like called the International Year of Light or something called International Year of Astronomy. So basically it's a branding. It's a kind of brand. So using this branding, we could attract people and work together. That we always need some common goals that to attract people to work together. You can drive people to work hard. And of course, because using this kind of branding, you can reach the target group, unusual target group that you never reached before. So that's why we want to work something different. We don't want to reach the same target group every time. We want to reach more people. We want to talk about light pollution. Of course, you want to reach the people who don't know light pollution. So that's why we need some kind of branding, and International Year, of course, is a good branding. And as an educator, as a communicator, you're always frustrated about the resources. Sometimes maybe too many resources, sometimes maybe no resources, or how to use the resources and so on. So this time, using some common branding, you have a common project, so everyone is creating. So we have resources, we have many resources. Like I'm going to talk about some cornerstones we are going to have, and they're going to create resources. So using resources, you can make. We don't want to duplicate efforts. We just want to use it. We want to propagate. We want to publicize it. So you don't try to make extra efforts of doing this, so we can share the resources together. So it's a great time using a common branding, common project, so people can create resources and you can use it. And of course, I've said it's a focal point, so every point people are paying attention. So that's why we want to have some kind of branding like the International Year of Light. Okay, so next question is how? Okay, so it's quite a very interesting question. Of course, you can do whatever you like. So the idea is, okay, so we tell you what is International Year of Light, you can do whatever you want, actually. But to help you to do for the planning purpose, so if you have no idea what to do, I can tell you we have already decided some cornerstones project. So the idea is similar to the International Year of Astronomy. So we selected a number of, actually it's free, okay? No, this is old poster, so we merged them. So we have 3 cornerstone projects. I'm going to tell you about that. So you can follow, they provide resources, provide guidelines, and you can make use of them to run different events. The first one I would like to tell you is this project we call the Light Beyond the Bulb, which is a large-scale exhibition. So the idea behind this is actually because of the time, we not really have a lot of time to prepare new things. So these IYL cosmic light cornerstones are basically emerged from the cornerstones during International Year of Astronomy. So they are the projects that you probably know about it. So for example, this one, it was coming from Earth to the Universe exhibition during AEAM. It was one of the cornerstones during that time. And the idea is those you will have quite a number of good copyright free. You have some signed some agreement, but basically they're copyright, they clear the license issue, so you can download the good image, and then you can make an exhibit. Okay, so you can do the exhibition in many forms. For example, you can put it like the rubber banner, like this one. So you can use the image and you can print it. Okay, you can make a huge exhibition. You can make it on a light. You can make it on a panel. You can have on a screen. Okay, so the idea is they will provide resources. So if you go to their website, okay, I will show you the website. Oops. Sorry. Oops. Oh, I'm not good at this computer. Yeah.
Do you want
Yes.
to put in the screen?
Okay, so if you go to this website, it's already launched. We call it lightexhibit.org. It's funded by SPIE and also funded by IAU. So if you go to this website, you can see view image. There are already some image here, not many, but there's some. So this project is not, because it's International Year of Light, it's not only astronomy, but astronomy is still one of, because astronomy is always producing good image, so they have a lot of good image, so you can go and select some, okay? And they are still looking for images. So if you know, or if you own some image, which is good, so you can submit the image to there. If you click on this different image, they will have an explanation, they will have a caption. You can help to do the translation. So they're also looking for translation for these images and for that. Okay. Yes. Oops. Okay. Yeah. And the next one is Galileo scope. Yes, you know that. So Galileo scope is one, again, it was one of the project, a cornerstone for the IYA. And again, it become a cornerstone for the cosmic light again. So the idea is we want to encourage the people to know the optics, and at the same time, they will look at the sky to look at the cosmic light themselves. Okay, so we encourage the students to look at it. So this is, if you don't know what's Galileo scope, it's a good quality telescope at a reasonable price. Okay, and during our area, it was produced in a huge number, and they distribute in a different place, especially to the developing countries, okay, to encourage people to look at the night sky. So they again, they will produce a huge amount of galeoscopes. So some conversations between me and the PI, they told me they were going to produce 100,000 of this galeoscope for sales. Okay, the third one I would like to talk is the Cosmic Light Awareness project. The project PI is Rosa. She's here, so I think you know her. So this project, it's come from, so I told you many of the projects come from the previous IYA projects, and this project has come from the GDTP, Universe Awareness, and Dark Sky Awareness. So 3 cornerstones during the International Year of Astronomy combined as one cornerstone we call Cosmic Light Awareness. So they will produce resources, I told you, so everything during this time is about resources. So they will produce a Cosmic Light Education Kit. Not really as same as this one, this is just for illustration only. But it's going to be easy to reproduce. So there will be activities, so you can download it and use it. And they will run the online tutorials using Google Hangouts, this platform, and you can know how to use the materials. And they will be uploaded. So if you missed the online tutorial, it doesn't matter. They will be uploaded and you can watch the video anytime. So apart from the science of light itself, another major component of cosmic light is about the light sky education of the light pollution things. So usually how we do the light pollution education is engaging the students, engaging the people to measure the brightness of the night sky. So there are 2 major methods. So one is direct measurement. So you can just have some meters or you have some device to measure the brightness of the night sky. So therefore we make this available, which is a smartphone apps. This is called a Dark Sky Meter. So it will be available free of charge. It can install on your smartphone. Now it's only iPhone, okay? So you install on your iPhone, and then you can directly measure the brightness of the night sky, so which is very helpful. Okay, the second one, which is using your naked eye. So which is something actually exists already, which is called the Go at Night campaign. So you look at the bright night sky, okay? The idea is you compare what you saw and using a star map. So you count the number of stars at a specific region. So if there are many stars, that means it's dark. If there are no stars, that means it's bright, of course. So using these results, we engage the people to identify the limiting magnitude of that region and They could report it, and we can, at the same time, they run it globally at the same date, so people around the world would know each other. Okay, my city is bright, the city is dark, and so on. So it's a way to engage the people to do that. So it is about light pollution education. So if you look at this map, so everyone will know that the Earth at light is, let's look like that, okay? We want to do something. We want to change something. We want to do education as well. We want to change something. And if you look at, for example, specifically at Africa, so you can see some regions in the world is still good, it's still not affected by light pollution. And of course, there will be some correlation between light pollution to the development. Okay. And some of the people would also, it's because of International Year of Light, so they were thinking of Light Up Africa. Okay, so there's something called Light Up. And of course, there's some good things, actually, I would say, for development point of view. So for example, there's something, it's not astronomy related, but some people would like to, for example, using some simple ideas. This is a website that you can go to check out. And they're using some water and some simple things, and they can create lighting, effective lighting for African countries. So which is something they want to do. But at the same time, as astronomers or astronomy amateurs, we want to educate the people about the proper use of lighting. So because these areas or something somewhere in different part of the world, we want Africa to develop. At the same time, the dark sky can be preserved. So we want to promote the idea of using quality lighting. So we are not against lighting, we are not against the use of technologies, but we want to better use of the lighting. Okay. So we're going to develop a quality lighting kit again under the under the Cosmic Light Awareness cornerstone. So to teach the people what's the importance of lighting, and there will be a lot of materials. And because this kit is a little bit complicated, so it's not so easy to reproduce, and they will be distributed at different chapters in SPIE, and also CIE and IDA. IDA means International Dark Sky Association. They have different students to run the school programs. Okay, so these kits will deliver to the center. So you can contact us and to know which center is close to you, and you can contact the people to run the project at the school. Okay, so the idea is using shielding. So I think you know that actually using different shielding, you will see how it affects. So for example, the same setting, if you put a shielding in different situation, you can see the dark sky brightness entirely different. So you can have a better night sky if you have a bad shielding. Okay, so light pollution is not only about optical wavelength, but also in radio as well. And we're doing radio astronomy, so astronomers are really worried about the interference of radio wave nowadays. So this is the radio wave, okay, the map of the radio interference. Okay, so you can see how it's impacting the observations of radio astronomy. So we would also like to promote the idea of light pollution of radio interference as well. Okay. I'm thinking I don't have enough time, but light pollution is an important issue, and we want to make a really big impact, and not really only about education, but we want to make some difference. We want to tell the policymaker as well. We want to make the policymakers to rethink what's light pollution. And this come from Hong Kong. I come from Hong Kong. This photo I took. Okay, so I come from a very bright city. So we actually run some stations with monitoring the brightness of the night sky, and this is the results. And you can see actually the brightness of the night sky actually varying very much. So simple education program like the Group at Night is not enough. So we would like to set up a global monitoring stations at different places. So now they have already some stations in Hong Kong, in Mongolia, in Japan, in Taiwan. So we would like to have more stations around the world. And you can just buy one single same one sky quality meter with Ethernet access, which is about 400 euro, 400 US, okay? And then you can set up. So if you want to know details and how to contribute, you can talk to me, okay? So another project for next year is in 100 hours of light. So the idea is, it's to borrow from 100 hours of astronomy. So next year, September, okay, 25 to 28, there will be 100 hours of light. At the same time, so there will be some events. We want to organize different events. And that time, there will be the total lunar eclipse, and it's visible in Europe, for example, United Kingdom, Portugal here, okay, and US. So you can organize activities, of course. And the other one, which is the Global Open Lab Day, GOLD. Okay, so next year, May, anytime, any date, anywhere. The idea is, of course, you have open house, but if you want to talk about optics and astronomy, there are quite a lot of optics, quite a lot of advanced instruments like adaptive optics. They're all also related to lights kind of things. So we actually have quite a lot. All this information we will be available, not now, it's still building up the website, but they will be available in the IU website. If you go to the IU website, you go to click the box called the International Year of Light here, you will see the information, and currently you can download the logo, you can download the video trailer, and I will going to show you, okay? But of course, you can help us to make it happen, okay? To connect to the people, arrange the meet, during this meeting, you can talk to us and we can see how we can work it out. And you can also translate the logos as well. I think this is Portuguese, right? I just we work it out this morning. Okay, so so for communications, so there are a number of ways. The official representative is the International Year of Light, NOx, okay, in the IYL homepage. Okay, you can click and see if your country is there. If your country is not there, okay, you can directly mail to the people in the IYL headquarters, the EPS, and then they could say, okay, I want to be a NOC and something like that, and see if they can appoint you. Okay, and IAU, okay, we have the National Outreach Contacts here, and this network is still building up, okay. But if you find that your country have no representative, talk to me, okay. They are the contact points in each country, and of course, projects PIs, Rosa is responsible for the Cosmic Light Awareness. Of course, me, I'm responsible for the IAU Office for Astronomy Outreach. So basically, I'm the global coordinator. So if you have any question, you don't know who to contact, please contact me. Okay, I want to borrow a few minutes to promote some activity as well. So the IAU is running another very meaningful project. It's called the Public Naming of Exoplanets. So this is called the Name Exoworld. So we invite the people to name exoplanets. So all celestial objects are named by IU. Comets, asteroids, all these are named by IU. And it's the first time we would like to make it to the public, available to the public to name exoplanets. And this is a website we call it Name Exoworlds. I don't have time to talk about that. If you want to know more, you can talk to me. The registration will start this month, end of this month, on this website we call the IU Directory for World Astronomy. And then again, we are building it. So this website will host the information for, basically it's a directory for astronomy clubs, astronomy organizations. And again, it's a portal, and you need to register this website in order to submit your proposal for the naming for the IU, the exoplanet things. So, but at the same time, we will provide event calendar. So you can promote your local event as well. And you'll see, it's not shown here very clearly, but it's, there's a button so you can click your country and it will be localized in your language as well. Okay. Okay, all this information will be available in the IU Astronomy Outreach newsletter. So all the information about IYL, about the major astronomy events, they will be there. So you go to IU homepage and click the IU for the public, and you will find this publication, and you can subscribe to it. Okay, and advertisement. You see there are a huge number of projects that we are going on, and my office is looking for an assistant outreach coordinator for IU. So if you're interested, please go to the IU homepage and check out. The deadline is next month, okay? Okay, I would like to show you the trailer as well. Sorry, I borrowed 3 minutes more. Okay. Sorry. Oops, it's not here. It's deleted. Yes, I know, but I'm not good at this. No, you can. This video is available for you to translate as well. So if you can help, please. Oh, it's there. It's there. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Can't wait to see the can't wait to see the movie. I mean, yeah. So there's no questions, Tilina.
Sorry, people, no questions because the people serving coffee